Infinity Castle arc. Today we'll be covering the topic of how strong Tanjiro is in the Infinity Castle arc. There will be rules to this, so feel free just to read them here. Here in chapter 147 we can see Tanjiro is capable of dodging Akaza's attacks, but this was when Akaza didn't use the compass and Tanjiro sliced his arm off with Hinokami Kagura. This would indicate, depending on the breathing form, Tanjiro has a higher attack power in this instance. As I said before, when Tanjiro dodged Akaza's first attack, you can indicate he dodged this with skill or just immediately figured out what to do in the situation and went from there. When Akaza next strikes Tanjiro, we can see Tanjiro evade the attack using Hinokami Kagura, Hylian Rainbow, and that you can argue when we next see him, Akaza's head was cut, indicating it could be a blitz, but not really, since Akaza was aware of the cut, but he couldn't react in time, so you could argue it is both and isn't a blitz. After this we can see Giyu make the statement Tanjiro's skills make him equivalent to a Hashira, indicating Tanjiro could become a pillar via his skills already in the short time he's been training for. Now we know Akaza's going to start trying since he's finally using his compass in return and respect for Tanjiro and his skills. In chapter 148 we can see Tanjiro trying to attack Akaza after Akaza dealt with Giyu. This was base Giyu, and Akaza dodged Tanjiro's attack and then teleports behind, well technically teleports, behind Tanjiro, almost speed blitzing him. You can argue this isn't a blitz depending on your view, since Tanjiro was going to choose a breathing technique, but was a bit late, so Giyu had to get rid of Akaza's arm. Tanjiro was able to tank a leg attack from Akaza quite easily due to him blocking with his sword, but in that moment Tanjiro did take damage. I'm not sure of what though, but he still took damage. After this, Akaza was able to clash evenly with Tanjiro, but Tanjiro's sword shook a little bit, indicating they were relative at least. I'm not saying equal, but relative. Akaza uses Willow of 1,000 Flashes and sends Tanjiro into a wall. Akaza, while serious, uses another leg type technique, which is known as Ring of 1,000 Flying Planets, kicking Tanjiro and making him take damage. You can argue this was either a durability or an endurance feat, but for my opinion I think it's more of an endurance feat, since he didn't really tank the blow. Shortly after this, Tanjiro is figuring out how Compass Needle works and how precise the attacks are, no matter how much he blocks or tries to defend. If you want a better and more in-depth video of how Compass Needle works, I recommend my Rengoku vs Giyu video or Dark World's Compass video on it. Finally, for this chapter, we see Tanjiro use a hazy technique on Akaza, which makes a small cut to the neck. Finally, when Akaza catches Tanjiro's sword, it shows that it was a last-ditch effort to try and stop Tanjiro from attacking. Chapter 151 is just about how Selfless State works and how you access See-Through World, which indicates your mind becoming invisible and trying to just minimize your movements and utilize all your strength. Tanjiro is able to cut Akaza's arm via accessing part of the See-Through World, but fails to actually blitz Akaza, since Akaza sees the attack and recognizes it, but he couldn't block in time. Then we see Akaza use Chaotic Afterglow against Tanjiro with Selfless State and Giyu, who has no statements about how much battle spirit he has at the time, indicating this is a base Akaza using Final Form, and Tanjiro and Giyu both tanked it due to the fact Tanjiro had damaged Harui and blood on his face, whilst Giyu only tanked a blow also. A misconception I want to bring into this is that Tanjiro beheaded Akaza and blitzed him, which clearly isn't true, since people do misconcept this for Tanjiro doing it with actual raw strength, when it was actually pure skill, not strength, because Rengoku definitely performed a better strength against Akaza's neck durability than Tanjiro did, because Tanjiro didn't even look like he tried. Hopefully I covered that misconception well, and you can now see Tanjiro did not behead Akaza with strength. he beheaded him with pure skill and precision. In chapter 153, we can see Tanjiro tank an attack from Akaza, scaling his durability equivalent to his AP, since durability is equal to AP. A striking strength feat from Tanjiro would be from chapter 156, I think. Is equal to AP as well, so we could scale Tanjiro's striking strength with his attack power as well. In this chapter, Tanjiro instinctively dodges second drug Muzan's whips, since it is shown he can dodge them, but it's kind of less impressive because of the fact he dodged it on pure instinct. The moment Tanjiro gets into Muzan's area, he gets blitzed by losing an eye and immediately falls onto the ground. Overall, I would believe Tanjiro in the Infinity Castle arc with his amps such as See-Through World and Selfless State would be near mid-high Upper Moon 3 level. This is because he should be above base Akaza in speed and evasion and agility, since he can dodge multiple of base Akaza's strikes, and also clashed relatively to a more serious Akaza, and Tanjiro did take sword damage, or his sword shook. His swordsmanship and skills would make him a Hashira level opponent in the Demon Slayer Court in that arc. In terms of strength, again, he would still be lower than Rengoku in my opinion, since Rengoku's striking strength was way more and has better feats than Tanjiro's strength. Hopefully this video has shown you how strong Infinity Castle arc Tanjiro really is, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.